Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Avery's Adventures. Today, I'm wearing green flannel, and we're not going anywhere. On this episode, we're working on my first truck. This old girl, her name's Rex. Because she used to sit up another 8 inches in the air. The rocker panels used to be 4 feet from the ground. She was a tall Mazda B3000. In fact, this is a 2001 Mazda B3000. It came stock with a 3 liter V6 and a 5-speed 2-wheel drive transmission. She was a dual sport, so dual sport means 2-wheel drive with the torsion bar front suspension, which is pretty much a front 4-wheel drive front suspension without the 4-wheel drive components. She's been changed on a bunch. First thing I ever did was put stacks on the girl. I was in high school and I said, you know what? I want exhaust, but everybody does dual exhaust, so I'm not doing that. So I bought a Grand Rock exhaust kit, Grand Rock Power Flow diesel exhaust. Had it cut, chopped, narrowed it, installed, put some stacks on it. Used to have flappers on them, but they're no longer on it. The V6 sounded pretty mild with it, but the engine she's got now, she's a little wild. So I'll go ahead and show you the inside. You know, pretty normal Ranger Mazda interior. Then you get a little bit further, big hole cut in the floor and 3 shifters in here. So still got a 5-speed. She's been converted to 4-wheel drive, obviously, if you can tell from the outside. Twin stick NP205 manual transmission. Transfer case, not a transmission. There's a USB cooler here in the back and the other tail light. She had 228,000 miles on her. We've apparently had some squirrels getting in here. Stuffed a rag down that hole. I think that's where they're coming in from. We got a Domo dice block hanging from the mirror and an Eat More Chicken cow. Now, if some of you have heard of this, she's got an Eaton HO72 rear axle, which GM used from 4649 all the way up to 72. It is the precursor to the 14 bolt. She's got 5 14 gears and a Detroit locker in her, so she's pretty stout. The gears in it are a little because they're pretty old. I just let them ride. Did a little bit of finagling on the truck a little while ago. I got a fuel pump hanging down here because apparently the one I put in the tank wasn't working. I was working on this probably about a month and a half ago before I even started the channel. Then up front, we've got a custom 3-link front suspension on coil springs with a panhard bar that I built custom for this truck. It's got an Artec 3-link front suspension truck on a 80s Ford Dana 60 Kingpin with 513 gears to match the rear. We got this nice crossover steering setup, and I built this big beefy pitman arm so that I could get all the steering motion out of these knuckles. This box wasn't giving me all the range of motion I needed, so by increasing the fulcrum, or the turning radius of the pitman arm, you increase the range of motion on your steering knuckles, which maxes out my steering now. I'm happy with that. One thing that's important is to get your panhard bar, that red bar, and your drag link pretty much parallel, so that whenever this side of the axle drops, they drop together and you don't have them binding. So we do not have the factory 3-liter V6 in here anymore. What we do have is an enormous 6-liter V8 LS LQ4 stuffed in this engine bay with a mess of wiring between the truck and the engine, paired to an NV4500 5-speed manual transmission with the it's got the 531 to one first gear, but it was a 95 model year, so I'm actually able to change that out for a 634 if I like. I don't believe I did because I had to replace the front gear on the counter shaft along with the input shaft. I bought that transmission for $100. When I took it out of the truck, the front input shaft and all the gears fell out of it. Brought it home, rebuilt it. Good and strong. So we're gonna slap a battery in here. I already bought some fuel over there in the back of the truck. Throw it in the tank. We're gonna whirl on the key and see if she'll fire off. If y'all can hear this thing roar to life. And when I say roar, I literally mean roar. After that, I'm gonna put some U-bolts on the rear suspension on this side. I robbed them for another project, just this side. So gotta put those on, and we can see about scoot, 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 scoot. Hey guys, so I just recorded this video about the will it start on my Mazda B3000, and unfortunately I have lost some footage. I am not exactly sure how this happened. It seems to be on 2 clips where the GoPro was rolling. Just after a couple of minutes it just shut off. Once is after I put the paste on the cylinder head and it dries and I say, hey, let me show you what this looks like. And the second time is whenever I'm installing the fuel tank, and the fuel tank just suddenly is installed in the truck and I'm putting water in the radiator. So I apologize for that in advance. I'm going to try and get this worked out. I think it's a memory card issue. So enjoy the video. I hope you like it. First things first, we're gonna throw this battery that's way too big in it. Perfect. Yep, that fits. All right, next we're gonna wire up this fuel pump. And what's great is I've got the speaker wire, which isn't marked on either side. Nor am I actually using eyelets. So, let's lay one up under here. All right, the bottom one is negative. All right, we got one on. All right, I used to be in school for electrical engineering, and I will tell you by far, that's not how you do it, but it's how we're doing it. So, now that I know the outside wire is positive, I'm just gonna hold it down, run my fingers along, make sure it's all the same orientation. And this is positive. Don't forget. All right, so we're back up here at the battery. We figured out which one's positive. This one. So I'm just gonna go ahead and smack. Nothing. What if we do it the other way? Oh, I hear whirling. Not that way. So maybe it does only take power one way. All right. Now, one thing I did not mention to you guys. When you come over here, last winter, I tried to drain all the coolant out of this block. Well, apparently, there was some pure water trapped up here in the block right here. and it split the head wide open. So I'm hoping that this won't be catastrophe, but I have some JB Weld putty, heat resistant putty. Pull it out of the bag right here. No, it says it's a paste. It's like a toothpaste, but for sealing things. This stuff, we're gonna try it. So got it. It's all nice and sealed. Maybe I should have read the directions first. Well, it said to mix it up really good. Maybe I shouldn't be using my fingers to do this. It's a paste. I don't like this. I don't like this one bit. I should be using a screwdriver. Well, I'll lather this on. I need a knife. Well, I'm back with a knife. That would have been a good idea in the first place. I'm gonna put the rest of this paste on. I'll show you what I come up with. What's going on? Stop this. This is obnoxious. Why are you clogged? I can hear you trickling. I hope some bug didn't build their nest in here. But I'm not going to take it apart today. I'm just going to struggle through this, so fast forward. Alright, so I'm going to hook up power. You can hear that little fuel pump humming away. Alright, now we have a fuel pressure bleeder, a fuel pressure checker spot right here. That doesn't seem to be enough. That mostly smells like varnish. We may actually have a full tank of fuel here, and that's why it wasn't eaten. So I'm gonna try and turn her over, see what we get. Nothing. I don't think we're getting enough fuel pressure. Now what I'm wondering here now, is our fuel pump pumping fuel? Is it moving enough fuel? That needs to come off some more. Come on, loosen up. Well, nothing's really coming out. Alright, so I ran to the parts store and picked this up. It is a in-tank fuel pump. We're not going to put it in the fuel tank. We're putting it in this. So, this thing says it's rated for 60 psi, which is exactly the maximum range of what this engine needs. It needs 55 to 60. So, you can give it more than that, obviously, but if you don't give it at least 55, it's not really going to run on the stock Ranger pump I had in it. You get it to prime up for a minute, do a fire, run for all of a couple rotations, and quit. So on top, it's not a very tight fit. I'd like it to be a little tighter fit. There's no barb on here, so hopefully that won't come off. I can't pull it off. That's just about stripped, so we're good there. I have no clue if this is high pressure hose. All right. There are no instructions with this pump, so I'm guessing this is positive. That. Slide it over like that. Don't want to put our fuel pump in the ground. Crimp. And no worries, fuel is not conductive. So you can use butt connectors inside gasoline. I know, it scared me too the first time. Well, it would have been good if I would have brought something that I could actually cut this with. 1 second. White's gonna be ground. I do not know where my good crimpers are. I actually had a set of snap-on crimpers. Found them one day. Out. I'm gonna take these zip ties. Yep. Right there. Where'd I put the other one? Oh, there it is. Gotta make sure I put them on the same way. God forbid. The zip ties are different ways. right. Oh, can't forget to take the plug off the bottom. That would not be good. Are you kidding me? Muy bueno. I usually use this for diesel, but we're gonna put gasoline on it. It'll be fine. That should be it. Oh yeah, that's plenty. Plenty. Bloop. Right down in there. We hot. Oh. We got flow. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I've got this fuel shut off. That on there. That on there. Screwdriver. Which is? Where's that? Where's that on there? Right on there. That was the thing down. Something over here. Slide that on there. Alright, I've got my red. Just gonna curl it and push it in. Just like that. We got my ground. I can hear it. You can hear it. We have a leak up here or something? Sounds like we got flow. We got a little leakage right there. It'll be fine. We reach in here. Do we have fuel rail pressure? Yeah, we got fuel, good fuel rail pressure. All right. Where'd I put the key? Did I leave it inside? Yeah, I did. Let's see if she'll go. Didn't even check the oil. me back for your cylinders. All right, now there's no coolant in there, so can't let it run too long. We gotta get that leak figured out and put the U-bolts on. So let's get that all mashed together and get her started up again and see if we can drive around the yard. Last time the clutch was overheating, and I actually don't know if the clutch was overheating, it was having a hydro lock or whatnot, but after about 30 minutes the engine get hot, everything get warm under there, you just lose the clutch. You'd have to turn it off, shift gears, turn it back on, in gear. But you know, we'll get it figured out. Stay tuned. Alright guys, so I kind of thought about it, and with this tank I looked in it, and this truck does have a fuel return line on it, it returns to the tank. And after checking the fuel gauge does work. The tank is full of old gas that it probably won't run on. So what I'm thinking is, that fuel is about 1.5 years old. I didn't say it earlier, but this truck has been sitting for at least 1.5 years. Me and my buddy went rock crawling probably about 1.5 years ago, brought it back, the clutch wasn't working, and she's sat ever since. We also had a problem with the passenger side coil popping out of the bucket on the axle. So, but this is returning to all the varnished fuel in the fuel tank, and the fuel tank is full like I just said. So what we really need to do is just go ahead and drop the tank. I brought the boat tank out here so we can put all the old gas in it. I'm gonna crawl up under here with the grinder, and I originally cut this cross member earlier in the build for the drive shaft, obviously, but I can pull down on it and flex my frame, and you can see that the gas tank is not being supported by it in the slightest. So I'm just gonna go ahead and come back in here with the grinder and chop this off, put a board under here with the jack, zip, pull the straps off, drop her down. So let's get to it. All right, I've moved all the gas tanks away. Hopefully nothing will catch on fire. Where's that fuel line? She's out. Boat. Oh, yeah, I know you're in there tight. All right, so I got this neat setup. Turn the fuel tank up on its end because it's filled with all this nasty fuel in there. You guys can actually get in there. Boom. So fuel pump's in there. It goes to this tank. And then all we gotta do is just go negative to positive. Yeah, look at all that milky fuel Alright, so I'm going to continue on with this. When we get this emptied, we'll go around to the tailgate where I got the fuel pump set up, or fuel pickup sending unit set up. Well, that would explain why my fuel pump ain't pumping. That's probably mostly the fuel sock. There's still all that stuff in there. So let me get that cleaned out. Alright, so I'm set up on the tailgate. Oh, that hose is nice and squishy. Maybe I'll be able to get into this hose clamp. It doesn't want to, but she's moving. Maybe we can reuse it. Wow. It's acting like it wants to come off. This hose is kind of wedged into place. There we go. I have to dig this one out too. This one's just thankfully the band, or the head of the hose clamp, not the whole band. Hopefully get it loosened up enough. Well, our new fuel pump did come with new hose clamp, so I just don't have to worry about that too terribly much. Yes, and how in the world did I have this thing apart before? First, let's unplug it. Unplugged. Huh. Oh, come on now. Just come on out. Slip it on up. Push this bottom piece. Yep. Take this other side off. Blammo. Woo! Yeah. That's not one of those microfiber cloth my girlfriend left out here. We'll use this to kind of wipe this out. Absolute urge to just light this on fire in order to get rid of all this wet fuel. But I know that's a bad idea. So, can this fit on here? It came with your own sleeve, but I don't know where it is. So, yep, I'm just gonna slide this up on there just like that. Take this fuel hose off. Now I can get this clamp good. Come on, give. There we go. Oh, I should probably wipe that out too. There's a leaf in here. All right. Smush this up in here. Well, that one will, that one will actually slide back out the top. Let me see. I know this pump came with a sleeve. Let me go see if I can find the box. All right, so I slipped the rubber sleeve on this pump, and I put it in here, and it's still wobbly. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try and slip this sleeve onto this rubber sleeve, and see if I can. Kind of almost want to cut off the bottom of this to put this rubber piece in, because this is the one that was supposed to come with the pump. I think that's what I'm gonna do. So now bring this over here. Oop, now this rubber is expanded. Come on. Go in. Don't scrunch out. Boom. Just put half of it in there. Oh well, it's not in the right orientation. All right, so I got the sending unit all cleaned up. Let me go ahead and slip it down in here. Well, which way do you go? Which way do you want to go? Like that? Come on, stuff your stuffy things in. There we go. Just like that. Slip on the collar. Get your collar on. Get you looking like a pretty dog. Alright, well, first things first, we gotta see if this thing even pulls fuel. So, you can hear it cut on for a second. Alright. Now, you know that it turns on. Let's put some fuel in it, just a little bit, and see if we can get it to pull some fuel. Woo! Fountain. Alright, so now that we got fuel coming out of here, let's get the tank back up in here, get the lines connected, and we'll see if we can get her fired and actually fill up with coolant, holds the coolant, and then get her moved. Some of you may be wondering, well, Avery, why don't you just go get a new cylinder head? Well, I'm telling you right now, that's too much effort and too much money. I spent $10 on that pack of JB Weld stuff and $30 on that fuel pump from O'Reilly's. So, and the thing is, if this cement paste, because it literally looks like a cement, doesn't work, and I don't have a lot of faith because the way I laid it in there, I feel like my skills could have been better. It literally feels like a rock. That I can just lay some more on top of it and it'll come out pretty good. So, fuel pump's making a fountain. Tank's tanking, pump's pumping, fuel's fueling. So let's hook up all our spaghetti and get her back up in there. Old battery. See you. You can see me. Shit, you're right. Turn line. Look there. Guaranteed not the way to install a fuel pump, but it works. It's also a little difficult. No, fuel, don't go to that end. This is one reason I didn't actually want to fill it up before. I had gotten it in here, but we're at that bridge, so we're crossing it. Oh, come on now. Come back some, floor jack.
I just need to set this big wobbly thing on you. Well, the good thing is I got the drive shaft here to just help keep it from going all the way this way. What am I caught on? It's not that. I get my hands caught. Well, yeah. Stay there, hose. You gotta hook some things up. Can't be sitting on the handle. Seems like the right spot to me. Probably be a good thing to get the feed hose routed the right way though. Oh. This water's been sitting in the back of the truck for, I don't know, 2 years now, so it's perfect. Aged. Drain cock on the radiator must be closed. What? No way. Is drinking it. It's not going out the overflow, is it? I don't hear it hitting the ground. Don't see it getting wet over here. If you say so. I don't see any coming out over here. Let's crank on it. Let her get her running, see if she drinks anymore. Why are you backfiring so bad? Well, and I will say, there is an ECU issue with this truck. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but if you try and plug into the OBD2 port, it will not be recognized. You can't connect to it. I don't know if that's the harness or the ECM, but I want to just replace both of them. I'll probably do the ECM first and then do the harness. I don't know, unless somebody in the comments can tell me, you know, which one should actually be better to do. this thing is overheating. But what I can't tell is there's no fluid coming out here. That creates a lot of noise. Well, I've let it sit here and idle and warm up some. And it's still got this looking out from where I put the cement on, so it seemed to be looking good. Woo! I love the way that sounds. A little bit of an exhaust leak somewhere. Alright, gotta put these U-bolts in. I'm gonna shut her down for that, and after that we'll go for a spin.
The nice thing about a larger lifted truck, you know, is all the space in here. Come on. All the way up. Like that pop song from the mid-2000s. All the way up. I don't feel like that was that old. Maybe that was like 8 years ago. Why don't you just fit? Let me get the hardware in here. 4 washers. Those don't seem big enough. 4 lock washers. Just like my brake lines here. They're mint. And then 4 nuts. 1/2 by 20. Most 1/2-inch nuts fit a 3/4-inch socket like I've got in my hand. Oh, you're nice and cooperative. Need a deep socket. Better I cut the U-bolts off. All right, now that we've got the U-bolts in, cooling system filled up, fuel tank taken care of, we can get in this thing. Where the squirrels were. I'm gonna have to move the seat forward. I'm a short person. Yeah, that clutch don't feel right. Give that fuel pump a second. It is a cheapie. I'll be truthful, guys. I don't like anything that doesn't have electric windows. Woo! Clutch out. Oh, and the reason why the front bumper is bent like that is it grabs on the front tires sometimes. Woo. Stop backfiring. First. Come on, you can. Probably help if we had more fuel in here. Come on, you got it. Stop backfiring. We need more fuel. She ain't got enough fuel. Come on, girl, you can make it back up to the top of the hill. So it turns out she did drink some with that little test run. Pulled the radiator cap off and there was no pressure in it. Although I probably shouldn't. I'm gonna need to empty this later because it's still January. And I need to put some coolant in it if I'm not. Which, that's probably the smarter idea. I don't have any plans to take this out. Alright. So, what I'm thinking next is she's running a little rough. Get her started up and maybe see about coming along and pulling coil packs to see if she's misfiring on any of them. Because they're all mixed match. See those are round. There's some square, some more round. Used to work at a place called PCM and we built boat engines for Nautique and Malibu boats. And we built LS engines. And so every now and again we'd get a coil pack and it'd have like a little broken plastic piece or something. And you gotta throw that out. And well, I just take them home. They're good coil packs. So I got them a bunch of mixed match ones. Could be an issue. I'm not sure. But we're gonna see if pulling spark plug wires will actually show a dead cylinder. So give me a minute.
Yeah, it's fine.
Cold start.
I hear the fuel pump, bud.
Yeah, I do too now.
Yeah, it's missing. It's not running on all cylinders.
Hey, yeah. She's trying. It doesn't sound like it, no. I feel all this smoke.
Yeah, that's true. You just unplugged the whole harness, I think.
I did. Yeah, there's some important wires in there. There's just some slip clips too. I can't get back.
Even doing things.
Yeah. Let me try unplugging the further back too.
So did you just start it and drive it up on the trailer?
No, we winched it. We winched it. We got it up on the trailer and I put the battery in it and then I turned the key in it and it started right up.
Have you checked the oil in it?
No. She's only running on 4! This whole side's not firing!
What's the fuck? Are you sure your injectors are firing then? Or is this the side that cracked?
No, that's the side that cracked over there. Actually, it may be the injectors because I got shocked by this yesterday.
Might be your injectors. I could run.
Alright guys, I think that's going to be it for this one. I mean, she does run. She doesn't run great. Obviously, she has some issues like the injectors, like we said. So, I think that's going to come back to a harness or an ECM issue due to the fact that the you can't plug into it and it won't connect. You have to, there's just no way to even connect to the ECM. So if you enjoyed this video, if you had a good time, leave a like. If you thought I did, if you want to leave any comments, questions, or concerns about the way that I did this video, drop them down below. See you on the next one. Appreciate it, guys. Have a good one.